Les, with your director of football hat on, looking at the Salah deliberations, all those contract negotiations that have gone on, how much a relief is it at board level, as much as anything, just to have this deal done?
I think at board level, yeah, you know, one of the best strikers we've ever seen in the Premier League, to keep him for another couple of years. The negotiations, I can imagine at his age, from board level, would have been what it wouldn't have been if he was 27 years of age.
Difficult for them to break their structure to do it, to look at a player who's in his 30s and say, we are going to give him this 2-year extension. Yeah,
difficult, but then when you look at the numbers that he's throwing up year in, year out, you're saying to yourself, then we have to keep him, because to replace him, you're going to spend a lot of money, and you're still going to spend a lot of money on the wages of that person anyway, and they're not going to be able to guarantee... Well, you don't know if they're going to guarantee you the goals that he's been guaranteeing Liverpool year in, year out. So from that perspective, I mean, when you look at Mo Salah, he was always very cool about it, because all he was doing was playing his football, scoring the goals, and the more goals he was scoring, the more pressure Liverpool was under.
And Roy, you know all about refreshing squads that have been successful, but is it also about making sure that you keep the players in there who have got you to that position as well?
Yeah, particularly the star players, and no doubt he's a good pro as well in the background, which helps as a great example to all the young players. We see him doing it week in, week out, scoring the goals, the assists. And put it, the difference would be if you put him in the Arsenal team, Arsenal would win the league this year. That's how special he is. So I'm kind of glad they got the deal done. You know, it really is, because you want the top players playing the Premier League. It was only a matter of time, I think, that they got it agreed. I think he deserves it. He's a special player, and no doubt a good pro. And you're on about, I suppose, making changes at the club, having kind of targets regarding not giving contracts to certain players, but you know, every player can be different. And you look at his, we've seen him get interviewed many times, and we've seen him, he's a proper pro, he's a fitness freak, and he's doing the business, and that's why they had to give him the deal. They just couldn't let him walk out the door on a free.
One of the things that he's talked about motivating him are these personal records, and the fact that he's now staying in the Premier League, is contracted to stay until 2027, is that he's chasing down these kind of totals. And you look at maybe Alan Shearer's all-time Premier League goal-scoring record, and, you know, nearly 80 goals looks like a tough target, even for Mohamed Salah. But then you look at things like Liverpool's record scorer. That's again, a tough target to meet by Ian Rush. Premier League assists looks very beatable. Things like most goal involvements in a season, certainly most assists, most combined goals assists. He's closing in on, Les.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's still got, is it 7 games to go, and you know, he's got a couple of goals to get and a couple of assists, and he beats that 47 record. You see him doing it, and you know, if that's his motivation, then he'll be looking at all those stats and seeing how close he could get to all of them, and you wouldn't put him past him, because, as you said, he's a fitness freak. He looks after himself, and he wants to go out as probably the all-time best striker that's ever worked in this.
And some of them stats are really, like Shearer and all these people. Rush were out-and-out strikers. You still see Salah as maybe as a wide player, so to be up there.
He describes himself as a winger, yeah.
Yeah, so the fact he's up there competing with these players, I'll tell you what a good player he is, and the assistant. And we watch football every week, and the hardest part of football is still scoring goals. And when these boys are doing it, that's why they get the big money and the big headlines, and they deserve it.